Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we're having another really good trading day. Um, I'm pretty much done for the day, but I thought if this trade triggers to the short side right here, notice that we got a little channel working down here. This is the first break. That's a nice, there's a trap. We went higher first. I would have liked to have seen it break lower first, but it didn't, but there it goes, and I hope I didn't just miss it. There we go. Now we're short. I'm not going to try to, since we're going to bounce down here, more than likely I'm only going to scalp out. And how I ended up with two contracts here, I'm not sure because I wanted to go with 10, but doesn't matter. We're short. See what happens here. We're looking for prices to come down here off the low side of this um, trend channel. We do have some support down through here, but you see we went right on through that one, and we're trying to go on through this one. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't pull back a little bit here, but you know, we had the trend line break and we broke, and now we're moving to a new low. I expect we're going to bounce off the low side of this before it's over. And you see we did get a little bit of a trap there now. Hope I didn't read this wrong because we do have the break and then now a new low. But my guess is we're coming down here to test this line. We just may have to pull back first. I may have miscalculated this one. Might be a little early. And that happens sometimes, but that's the beauty of being on the right side of the market. If you're a little early, it doesn't kill you. And really, I want my stop 2 ticks above that bar right there. And if we weren't so close to this low right here, if we turn back down again, I'd add on again. But we're really close here, so I'm pushing this last trade, trying to squeeze the last little bit out of it. And that's not always a good thing. Because sometimes you don't make your targets. You know, at some point this thing is going to reverse and probably come out of this. But hopefully you can see this clear channel working down through here. Really easy to find. I've had a couple of emails this morning. People are a million, you know, they've got anything but this on their chart. You might have seen it just as a trading range. You see my lows here and my highs, but you can see we're getting through there. It's not holding, you know, once it comes off these highs. So I feel pretty certain that I've got the channel right here, and we'll scalp out of this one. Try to get a little runner on this one. We'll go from there. But I mean, this is basic stuff right here. So there's no reason you shouldn't be able to find this channel, or at least see the possible trading range. But the fact that we're making lower highs each time is telling, and lower lows each time. And we'll probably make a new low right here. We could, you notice we bounced right here. We've got kind of a double bottom, but I'm assuming they're probably going to trap people here and we're going to go on down, or we may pull back to the EMA first. And I definitely don't want to get stopped out on this right at the EMA, so I'm tempted to give it my 2 points here, but I really think we're going to go on down from here. So I'm just going to leave it be for now. But the ideal place was up here. We broke higher first and then turned down and went below that bar. And that was the ideal trade. Go ahead and set up the rest of the chart for the chart lesson so I can kind of talk about the trades today while we're waiting on this trade to work out over here. And it's mostly been all sales today. There's been a this is a big enough trading range that, you know, you can consider going long in here. You see, we're about to get out of this trade here, I hope. We need at least one more tick, probably two, to get out of here. I'll tell you, if you don't use the automated strategies, I highly recommend them. It's amazing. All right, now we're out. I'm going to leave that at break even because I still think we're going lower. If you don't use the automated strategies, I highly recommend them because it's amazing how many times I get out without prices having to tick through my order. Too often for it to be just luck. But it's because I get into the trade really, really quickly. And you know what, since we're playing so close to this low here, and we've got a new low in, I'm tempted just to tighten this, go ahead and leave this +1 so we don't give any of that money back. We're either going to make one tick on the second one or we're going to get out down here and make, tell you what, let's go for 2 points. See what happens. We're either going to make 2 points or one tick. So, but hopefully you understand why I entered there. We had the little channel working down. I always draw these channels. We had the break, but we've really got 2 legs to a new low, and we darn not quite to the channel down here. But it wouldn't surprise me if they're coming back to give some other people maybe a chance, and we could bounce a little early here. I may get stopped out of this, but some eager buyers there, but you don't want to be, you shouldn't be eager to buy this thing at this point. You want to get a touch of this line down here. Wouldn't surprise me if they don't trap them one more time, but my guess is they're going to take it on down before it goes higher. We'll see. Some good buying. There is some buying down here. There's some eager buyers down here, but that's, you know, it's not time to buy yet. Come on, sellers. Drop it down a couple more ticks. Here we go. Come on, a couple more. Give us 2 points on this runner. This will be a 3-point trade. Quick $150. If we get the 2 points here, we ain't got it yet. We could tick right on it. We might bounce right off of it, I'm afraid. And I'm really pushing this one to the limit. Normally I probably wouldn't hang on this long. Come on, sellers. If you've never listened to me trade before, you know, if you have, you probably know I like to talk to the market when I'm trading. Come on, a few more ticks here. Let's go ahead and just tighten our stop. One more tick. Keep it above each bar as we come down. Unless we touch, if we touch this line and bounce, I'll probably go ahead and exit. I'm hoping if we drop on down, it'll probably drop through my order. Feel it. And we could actually drop down here. We may hit some stop orders of people that have already gotten long, and it could shoot on down another point or two. But we don't want to be greedy. the odds are it's going to hit this line and bounce somewhere really, really close um, to it. Come on, we need 2 ticks. Come on, sellers. They love to fool people here. Not saying that we won't go higher from here because we may have enough here. But they love to trick people and at the last second close this bar and drop it right below that last one and go ahead and take it to the target. But there's some buying going on here. They're eager to buy it. A lot of people realize we're going to probably bounce out of here soon. I probably should have just taken, here we go, we're going to get stopped at. All right, we made 2 ticks on that last one. I meant to go in there with 10, so somehow I had 2 contracts on that one, but still an easy trade. We still haven't bounced off that yet. I wouldn't be too eager to buy here yet. We could go straight out of here, but hopefully you understand why I took that trade. And notice every one of these moves were just crystal clear. You had a little channel. You had one leg down, so you're looking for another leg, and it was in a channel. We broke it. We made a new low, and we rallied to the upside. We had a channel working up here. We broke it, made the retest, and then now we got a channel coming down. We broke it, had a little retest. It wasn't much of a retest on this one because it couldn't get through the bigger trend channel line. And then guess what? Trend channel all the way back to the other side. We broke it. New high right at the previous, right where we're looking. I was tempted to go short here, but I waited. We got the little trap. We broke higher first. I put a stop order right there. Off it went. I exited right here when this, I should have held on, but then I just re-entered right here and got another couple of points out of it. And so, but it's all real clear. You got the break, chance to go short. I just demonstrated that trade to you. You know, this is a big enough channel to where, you know, you could probably, if you want, you can, you know, you can look to buy down on the lows. Once you got a proven channel going up, this one was a little more aggressive, but this looked more like a trading range. So I took the second entry here. Notice here, I didn't mark the second entry. There's a lot of overlap. It wasn't clear that we wouldn't come back down here yet, but when that little, we got a failed second entry off the low, and then we got a failed second entry off the high, so you got a little double trap. Look at that bullish bar. As soon as it broke higher, you drop a limit order in there. Easy trade. You didn't get any runners out of that one unless you were holding on knowing that that was going higher. Another long right here. You're looking for the retest of the high. Not only did you have your trend channel coming up to give you the clue where to go, but you came back and tested this strong. Notice there's a little gap in here, and that usually acts as a strong support or resistance area, and you can see it has. This is a short right here. But I'll talk about each of the trades real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. It's Friday. It continues to just be some really good trading. We're getting some movement, and you just have to be patient. This was the one I was really waiting on, but I got a couple of chances to make some scalps on the way up. But these were the trades you were really waiting on that give you a chance to make some bigger money. And I talked myself out of this one, but I would rather re-enter. And really, you could have entered again right here. I was tempted to add on right here. But we didn't get it. You know, I would have liked it better if we got a break above and had a little failed second entry long. But you know what? I'm pretty sure if I hadn't have already been entered, I would have entered there. So because came really close to adding on there, and I probably should have. And this would have been a really good day. But that's right. That's right off that trend channel line, little trend line. The only reason I was a little hesitant to add on is because I was already in, and I still had some runners going, and we were close to this where we'd bounced before. And you can see we did get some resistance there, but it went on through. So let me just talk about each of the trades. This was just too choppy to be entering right here. There was never a really good setup, and I didn't really like going long here yet because it was a clear channel. We did have two legs down. Somebody sent me something, and I think they went long. There's your first leg. There's your second. And notice we didn't quite get that target. We missed it by a tick or so. So needless to say, I didn't like going long right there because we had this channel, and I was still thinking, hey, we're going to break it. And there was a great reversal bar right there. You could have considered going short below that bar, but it's better to wait on that one and just drop a limit order. And you can see you could have gotten filled within up to 2 ticks inside that bar, and then it just drops on down. And then you get your new low, you come up a little higher low. I didn't like going long above that bar, but once we had this one in place and we tested that one twice, again, you had to use a limit order here because it closed on its high and opened right there, but would have gotten filled, did get filled, at least on my chart. Yours may be slightly different. Again, I was tempted to go short right here, but we didn't. I mean, you could look at this as a break of that trend channel, but I don't think it was because there's no real close outside it. This was the break, so I was a little hesitant to, and I'm glad I didn't go long. I mean, even if you had them, as long as you kept your stop above the signal bar, which would have been this, you were okay. But you're better to wait because the rules tend to follow through. And then there you go. There's a nice bearish bar. Again, there's a little overlap. I like to use a limit order there. A stop still would have been fine. You would have had to probably take a little heat on this. But look at that. It takes off, gives you a second chance to enter right here. A little breakout pull back short right off the possible little trend channel working down. And it's off to the races, straight down to the other side. Look where it bounced. That's where you want to exit. Then you get a failed second entry short. Not a real good setup to go long. It would have worked if you'd have taken it as long as your stop was here. Notice it never ticked lower. But when we got another failed second entry short coming off the high side, first entry, pull back, second entry, and it turned right up, closed on its high. As soon as we got a little trigger there, I dropped a limit order right there. Easy scalp, nothing more. Then you got another one here, easy scalp. You should have exited your runners right up here at the trend line. So maybe a couple of points off your runners, and then you make your money on the way down. And there's 3 entries on the way down. I showed you one of them right there. The trap here, we broke higher first, and this is kind of a repeat pattern of this one. But by this time, people see the channel. People know this is here, and you can tell because of the way it took off. Because this was a really bullish move, and this was even still looking bullish right in here. But you got to know what's going on. If you know what's going on, you don't get trapped. There's probably somebody watching this video that went long right there because they didn't know what was going on. They thought we were in an uptrend. But if you can read the chart and you understand what's going on, you got your little you got your bigger channel, so you're going to get resistance off this line. But your second clue is you got your channel working up. We got the trend line break, the retest, the little double top 1 tick trap. Boy, this was a beautiful setup. And there were 3 trades on the way down through there, all of them good. Again, this was a little kind of like a little pullback right here to the trend line. Turned it right back down, short right there. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. This has been a really, the trading's just been really, really good. And if you can find these lines, and now it takes experience to learn to do this, but they're there every day, and I show them to you. You just got to learn to find them. And one thing that you'll learn is you don't have to get it exactly right either. As long as you're getting it close. I mean, you might have had this channel let me just show you. You might have had your channel like this right here. And you can see you would have known not to be going long up here, to be thinking short. And that might have even put you into that short, but I don't think that's right. You may not have got this long, but you would have probably been thinking again about this short, because it's, maybe then you probably should have thought, well, maybe it's up here. And then that's the first break. So there, you don't have to get your channel just, if somebody will write to me and say, well, I didn't see that. My channel didn't look like yours. It doesn't have to be exactly right. If you're completely wrong, yes, if you're, you're going to be in trouble. And, but it doesn't have to be exactly right. And this is a good example here. Maybe I didn't quite have this right down here in the low, but I knew right down here, I called 1620 for the low, and that's exactly where we got. And so I should have gotten out one tick earlier. And I didn't call that on the video, but I sent a couple of emails to some people what my target was down here, that I was short from up here, and that my target was down here. And I ended up exiting, but I re-entered and still looked for the same target. Actually, I was trying to get one. Actually, we needed another tick more than that, but we didn't get it. So, but it went right to my target, exactly where I expected. And this, it wasn't luck. It wasn't an accident. If you understand what the chart is doing, you can do that. And so really good trading day. It's been some really good weeks. I mean, this isn't the straight down trend or the straight up trend we've been getting. It's kind of a weak down channel, but you can see it. It's just as clear as day right there. And you've got to learn to find these lines, and that's where you're looking for entries. It's hard to be patient. I mean, you didn't, excuse me, I'm sorry I got choked there. You didn't have to take any of these longs because the trend is down, but it's a weak trend that's more like a choppy range. So on days like that, it's okay to go long as long as you understand what's going on and as long as you can see what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, stay out and be careful in this. Notice that I didn't take any trades in that, not one. The first real good trade I saw was right here. So from 7 o'clock till almost 8:30, I had to just sit there and do nothing, and it's boring as heck. But that's what you got to do. If you tried to enter in here, you might have got trapped on either side. There's no, the only way you could enter on these was to enter, just take a guess that, hey, it's going to turn off that line or turn off of this line. That was the only way you could enter there and profit, because there's no setups. By the time you get your setup, you're already back down to the low line. And so you got to be patient. You got to wait on prices to come to where we're to the key entry points. I say that all the time, the key entry points. And a really aggressive trader might have went long right there. I mean, and just because I don't mark a trade doesn't mean there's not a trade there. Like I said, if you drew this a different way, you might have saw a short right here, and you see it would have worked. In the big picture, I don't think it was a great trade, but it still would have worked. And so there's a long right here. And even though I don't think it's a safe setup, it would have easily worked, and you could have ridden it all the way to the high side. Same thing right here. There's other trades on here. This one would have worked because notice we never went below the signal bar, so that one would have worked even there. So there's other trades that work in here. And this was a second entry long, but this was at 4 or 5 in the morning before I ever got here. So, no, I wasn't here when that was going on, and then it was just choppy from there on. So I waited and I was patient till right here, and I got a setup and I took it. But anyway, this is into 24 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed the trade example. Again, I was a little late adding on to that one, but I felt confident that we were coming down to this line, and we may come back down here yet and still touch it. But it wouldn't surprise me now if we don't go to the other side. I may just not have had my line. It may be right there. It might even be right there. And now that I look at that, but that just shows you don't have to be exact. You just have to be in the right area, and you have to know that somewhere in there you're going to exit. And I'm thinking that's probably it right there. That looks really good because that's where we got most of the turns. There's not much through there. Um, and so you don't have to get it exactly right. But you got to be in the right ballpark. Hopefully that makes sense. So, because people will send me something and they'll see something else. And yes, there's probably a bigger pattern if you want to go back to multiple days. And you could trade off of that, but you're going to need bigger stops and you probably get bigger moves. And, my philosophy and my thinking is there's enough reason in today's price action alone to find all your entries. You don't have to go out to several days out because there's too much more room for error. You want to trade on a more micro level. At least that's my opinion because I'm a scalper. Now, if you like to ride big trends, then yeah, go out to a bigger chart. Trade a multi-day chart or trade a multi-hour chart or something of that nature because you will see the same setups. And that's just, that's the proof that's in the pudding, so to speak, that price action works on any level. They're just bigger levels of what's the same thing we're looking at here. There's bigger levels of it. And if you went to a smaller chart, there's even smaller levels of it. But you need to be able to see it all on the same chart, and you can with time and experience. It just takes a little while, and it takes a little experience. So, but I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the little quick trade example, and why I took that. You got your channel working now. It's your first break, so you know. And plus, we're looking for prices to touch this line. And so there's enough room there. It's getting a little tight right there, which I explained, but I still liked it and it still worked and I still made some more money. I got a little greedy trying to get that extra tick. Normally when I get some overlap like that, getting close, I'll go ahead and exit, and I didn't do that in this one particular case. But just like up here, I exited and I shouldn't have. So you'll never get it right. I can assure you. Whatever your guess is, you'll never get it right. So the main thing is just stick to one, either tighten your stop or always have your target and just wait on your target. You may want to tighten your stop in case you're wrong, so you don't give all your money back. But kind of like I did, at least I got 2 ticks out of that. So we still made $25 off that. Or actually we made $50, or no, $25. I'm sorry. We still made $25 off that second contract. So we made $75 on those 2 contracts. Nothing big, but it took a minute, 2 minutes. Where else can you make $75 in 2 minutes trading 2 little contracts? So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. This video is getting long. It's Friday. I'm getting out of here early. I hope you're having it. And notice, let me show you this too. Notice this was that support resistance line. And look where we're getting resistance now. Right there on that line. Doesn't mean we're going to go lower. It may get on through there. And if we got the line right down here, we probably will get on through there. But we may pull back and trap some people first. We may come down here and run on down here. And I might have had this right to begin with. And we may come on down here and make another lower low. So just follow the price action. There's no reason to be going short yet, but I wouldn't be going long here yet either after this big, after this nice leg up. Wait on a trap or a second entry or something of a little, something that's more telling than that. Entering right here wouldn't be safe either way, in my opinion. So, but I'm going to wrap it up finally. I've said that 3 or 4 times, but this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next week.